Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your dangerously sexy, charmingly dashing, ever so amazing host, Nick. And without me, or I'm without, I guess is the way to say that, is Matt. I don't know where I was going with that. It sounded way cooler in my head. I'm so glad Matt isn't actually here to hear that. But anyway. Welcome to PWP TV, home of Pro Wrestling Podcast, the bi-weekly show that delivers you all your goodies all in one place. The Gmail's prowrestlingpod@gmail.com. Once again, prowrestlingpod@gmail.com. The Twitter page is @ProWPodcast. Once again, @ProWPodcast. Available on iTunes, Podcast X, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa, and right here on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Nick, and we are going to dive into a topic that I think it kind of goes without saying, it more or less just kind of threw people through a loop a little bit, and that is the repairing of Team Hell, Daniel Bryan and Kane. And 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, so this was kind of an interesting thing. Basically, at the end of SmackDown, Daniel Bryan was facing. I don't even remember what the match was, but either way, Daniel Bryan was in the ring. He was getting beat down. I believe he was getting beat down by the Bludgeon Brothers, and Eric Rowan had Daniel Bryan. He was almost like he was setting him up for a power bomb. And next thing you know, boom! Some music hits. You don't know who it is, but you do. It's Kane. That's gotta be Kane. I think it's only fair to say that much at least. But anyway, Kane comes out and he makes a save. He saves Daniel Bryan from an epic beatdown, and now in 2 or 3 weeks' time at Extreme Rules, it is going to be Kane and Daniel Bryan versus the Bludgeon Brothers for the tag team championships. And I am. I don't want to say amazed, but it was a curveball. It really was a curveball, because now you have a team that can draw, obviously, with, Kane's drawn money before by himself. Obviously, Daniel Bryan has as well. And they had that brief run in 2012 to 2013 or whatever, where they were tag team partners who were dysfunctional. They didn't get along. They didn't like each other. They were seeing Dr. Shelby on a week-to-week basis. And here they are back, and they're in the tag team title hunt. It's very odd to me, because for a lot of reasons. And the main one is because of mainly with Kane, with everything going on with him, with his mayoral run in Knoxville, I believe it is. So that threw me off. I thought he'd be a lot more busier doing that, at least. So that was kind of weird to see that. The other reason that I find it kind of odd is that Daniel Bryan, at this point in time, Daniel Bryan does not need a tag team partner. And the fact that they gave him Kane, which I don't think is a bad move. I like Kane. At the same time, it's just shocking. I don't know how else to really put it. So, Daniel Bryan really should be pushing for the WWE Championship to get back in that hunt. In my personal opinion, I think that really him being in a tag team right now kind of hinders that, and it kind of slows him down. And it's not a good slowdown either. Like, sometimes when wrestlers form a tag team, it's okay. It's a little fun. Like Steve Austin and Triple H, prime example. They didn't need to be in a tag team, but they did, and it was awesome. Just like the Mega Powers back in the 80s with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. They didn't need to be in a tag team, but they did, and it was fun. I don't think that rule applies here right now, mainly because there's no real big payoff for it. These guys are, both of them are world-class champions in their own right. They've headlined shows, they've won titles and Money in the Banks and all this other stuff, right? So my question kind of becomes, what is WWE trying to accomplish from this? That's kind of the tricky part in all of this. And the reason why is because there's no real rhyme or reason as to why Kane is back. He kind of just showed up. And to me, that was the biggest shock out of all of it, because again, he didn't need to be back. Who knows where they go from here? I'm sure WWE has some kind of elaborate plan for Team Hell No. It just seems that right now, I don't know. And I don't want to speak too soon or anything like that, but it's a very tricky spot for them to be in. And, I think, excuse me, I think that WWE, they know where they're going, but as fans, that's the hard part for us, is just sit back and watch sometimes. And I think that this is one of those cases. I think eventually what will happen is Kane will just go back into obscurity, maybe an appearance here or there, whatever. But then I think after Team Hell No, one of two things is going to happen. They're using this as a tool to propel Daniel Bryan into the main event picture, or they're using this as a platform to turn Daniel Bryan heel. And I don't think I like the idea of a heel Daniel Bryan, especially now. It doesn't make any sense. He should be kind of given the Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy treatment, to where they just draw so much money as a good guy, there's no point in making them bad. And I think that's what WWE is going with. So I think with that being said, the only other option would be to propel him into the WWE Championship picture. SummerSlam is not that far away, like a month and a half. So a lot can happen in that time. AJ Styles is taking on Rusev at Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship. Could we potentially see a three-way? Could we see those two and then Daniel Bryan get added into the mix, making it a three-man match? I don't know. I would love to see that. I think Rusev versus Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles could write itself for SummerSlam. And WWE has been doing a great job with these multi-man matches lately. The Usos are freaking human highlight reel. I don't think I need to tell anybody that. Even a team like Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns on Raw, and I know people are going to get upset about this, but it's the truth. You have these two guys talented on different levels. Bobby Lashley is a very talented person. Athletically, he's talented. In the ring, Roman Reigns, I've always thought Roman has been good. I think his promo skills are lacking, but I think at the same time, it's passable. So you look at the whole dysfunctional tag team thing that's going on right now in WWE. There's not really much of a term for it, but it works, and they need to just stick with it. They need to make sure that this is what they want. They need to make sure this is their end game. And as long as they do that, everything will be fine. It's just, it really is hard to say what they're trying to accomplish, but my best guess, without a doubt, is that they are trying to propel Daniel Bryan and propel him into the main event scene. Again, I don't know when that's going to happen, if at all, but I think that if WWE plays their cards right with Daniel Bryan, it's going to make him look really huge. I kind of think that SummerSlam, especially this year, not so much in years past, but in this year, SummerSlam is going to mark the true kickoff to WrestleMania. And I know August seems to be way too soon for that, but just hear me out. Storylines right now are developing, but they're not developing fast enough. WWE knows that. They're smart enough to realize that they have this thing with Roman and Bobby Lashley on Raw. I know I keep going back to that, but they have that going on. They have Bayley and Sasha Banks, and Bayley looks like she turned full heel. Who knows? But all these storylines are just starting out, and I think they're going to start off real good around SummerSlam, and then that's going to be their push into WrestleMania, because they did a lot of shuffling around after the Superstar shakeup in terms of who's feuding with who. And I kind of think Daniel Bryan got lost in that shuffle slightly. I don't think it was intentional. I think it kind of just happened. Big Cass, obviously, as everyone knows by now, he got released, but I think they were kind of using Big Cass as not necessarily a stepping stone, but someone that could make Daniel Bryan look good, which I thought Cass could have done. And I think at the same time, they wanted to see what Cass really had. And as we know by now, they made their decision with Cass, but I think at the same time, they know what they have with Daniel Bryan, so they're just going to go ahead and just do it and just go ahead and it's full throttle with him. So Will Daniel Bryan be propelled into the main event picture? I don't know. But I do think that the main goal right now is, yes, that is their main goal. That's their end goal, is to get Daniel Bryan over now. And then when he gets into the main event card, he's going to look even stronger. I personally would kill for them to do some kind of Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles match at SummerSlam for the belt. I don't know how you get there logically. I don't know. But I think that would just be a fun match. So who knows? What are your guys' thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. You want to hit the show, the Gmail's prowrestlingpod@gmail.com. Once again, prowrestlingpod@gmail.com. The Twitter page is @ProWPodcast. Once again, ProWPodcast. Available on iTunes, Podcast X, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa, and right here on YouTube. My name is Nick. And I'll see you guys next time.